Yeah, they're joining now. Yeah. Hi, Amar. Hi, Martin.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, guys.
Yeah, we live now. Okay. So, shall we start now? Or we wait for the Miss Neha? We waiting for Miss Hannah right now, or she will be joining in a while?
Let me try to get
to just 2 seconds.
All right.
I just messaged Hina, so hopefully she'll. I expect she's having a connection with them.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we can maybe start the session, and then Hina can join in a couple of minutes.
Sure. Yeah, we welcome you all. This is Bradford's live session about the studying in the UK. We have very special guests today in the show. To start with, we got Martin Booth, the head of the admission committee for this region, admission office actually. Omar and Joe, both the managers for admissions in our region. And soon we will be joined by another wonderful lady, Miss Hannah as well. As we are waiting, we can actually start our show. And I hope like this will be more productive. Welcome you all in this platform today.
Sure.
Right. Yeah, like before we start our session, actually, we just want to let you know to the university, like the people at DMU and yourself, of course, we have just launched our platform called Apply Global. So just want to play a very, quick video. It's just 15 seconds. Please bear with me. So this would give some idea to our viewers as well, like who we are and what it is about. All right. Well, this is a very quick video. I hope this just gives you a very quick idea about that platform. This is about what we do at Bradford and what we plan to do using the technology in regard to the options that are available in the whole world in terms of students, future studies plan in the country like UK. So this platform has 3 main destinations: US, Canada, and UK for now, where we have more than 300 institutions in one platform. It's like a search engine. Like if you're a student, you just can fill in the 3 fields. Then based on your source, let's say for programs, the country, and the label like undergrad or grad, it just pops up the countries. So you will have the country, the universities, based on their programs, and then you go from there. So this is it. It's applyglobal.com. So we'll talk more on this kind of Facebook Live in the days to come as well. So just not to confuse you all, what is Bradford and what is Apply Global Live. All right, so I don't know, again, welcome you all, starting with Martin, Amar, and Joe. Please introduce yourself a little bit, and then we start the show presentation.
Okay, shall I go quickly first? Yeah, just very, very quickly. I might say a few words for a couple of minutes once we've all introduced ourselves. But just say, yeah, my name is Martin Booth. I work in the international office at Montfort University, and my responsibility is to help students from various countries in your region, but specifically Nepal, to come to study in the UK at Montfort University. Hi.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Amr Fahad, and I work with Martin Booth, Joe, and Hina. The same, we're in the international office, and we would welcome any question and any way that we can support our student to join the Montfort.
Great, thank you.
And I'm Joe, for those that don't know, and I also work in Martin's team within the international office. And if you do have any questions throughout this live session, please do feel free to ask at any point, and we can hopefully answer those questions for you. And shortly after Martin gives you an introduction to our kind of session today, we'll give you a presentation. And after the presentation, we can have a question and answer session, which is interactive, and it will give you an opportunity to find out more information about our university.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Great.
So, I'd like to continue with this. So, we're going to start the presentation, Joe?
Sure.
Okay.
Martin's going to say a little introduction now first.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I promise not to speak for very long, and thank you for the opportunity, Joe, to say a few words before you start your presentation. Just very quickly want to thank everyone for joining today. I really hope, most importantly, that you and your family and friends are safe during this unusual time that we're in. As I said, I'm responsible for various countries around the world in terms of helping students come to the UK and Montfort University of Leicester, but specifically, obviously, for Nepal. And we have the wider team here, and we're all very much here to support you. As Joe said, we're going to have a question and answer session at the end. The reason there's not just Joe or myself here is so that we've got different members of the team. So we'll do our very best to answer any questions you have. And I'd encourage you during Joe's presentation to start to write down and prepare any questions that you want to ask us at the end, so they're nice and ready. Just a couple of very, very quick things. For any of you who don't know, Montfort University is based in Leicester. If you think of England and the United Kingdom, outside of London, I think without a shadow of a doubt, Leicester is seen as, and actually is arguably, the most international city in the country. We're certainly seen as being the most multicultural, and we have a huge South Asian community and people from Nepal. So when you come to Montfort University, and Leicester specifically, you're going to know that you're going to be very comfortable in the town. You're going to be able to enjoy many of the things that you would enjoy back at home, whether it be food, religious practices, mixing with people from Nepal. But at the same time, Leicester is also a very British city. So you'll be able to also immerse yourself in British culture, British education system, etc. As well as that, just talking very, very quickly about the university, we have over 400 programs. We have 4 very large faculties, and we're teaching across many levels. So it's very likely that you're going to find the program that you're interested in studying at the university. So just very quickly to summarize, we're a great city for international students, and especially students from Nepal. And we have a very, very broad program offering. So you're very likely to find the study area that you want at the university too. Thank you for listening to me. I'm now going to pass you over to Joe. Thanks very much.
That's great. Thank you, Martin. I'm just going to share my screen now so that you can all see the presentation. It will roughly last 10 to 15 minutes and hopefully give you more of an idea as to our university and the city of Leicester and the opportunities that you can have at our university. Just 2 moments.
Okay.
Okay, so hopefully everyone can see that, see the presentation now.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that? All good? Okay, so welcome to Montfort University. We are proud to be more. That is our official slogan, and that is something we are very, very proud of. And welcome to Montfort University. So this slide here gives you a summary as to what we're about and where we're based. So as Martin said, we are based in Leicester, which is roughly an hour away from London on the train, 40 minutes away from Birmingham, and roughly an hour away from Sheffield. So we're located in a very central location, and it's a very multicultural city, as Martin covered. So we were founded in 1870, originally as an art school, and still to this day, it's kind of core as to what we do. So this year actually commemorates our 150th anniversary. So we've got a lot of heritage and a lot of history, and again, we're very proud of that. We have over 27,000 students on campus from approximately 135 different countries. So it really shows that we are not only a diverse university, but we have a wide and big student population from different backgrounds. So your students are likely to learn different languages, different ways of thinking, and learn about different cultures. And we have a city centre campus with on-campus accommodation, making it really easy for students to travel around and base themselves whilst they are studying at De Montfort University. So here you can see like a map of our campus, and on the kind of, let's say, on the outskirts of the campus, you can see the accommodation in so the purple buildings represent our accommodation. And I think since this map was released, there has been lots of updates and around this area. So where my cursor is right now, we've had lots of development in terms of new student accommodation being built. We're 5 minutes away from the city centre and 15 minutes away from the train station, again making it really easy for students to get around, and especially if it's their first year in the United Kingdom and in Leicester, it would really kind of help them kind of adjust to life in the United Kingdom. Okay, so moving on from this, we have a brief slide about our accommodation and the wide range of accommodation that is available for students. Crucially, accommodation is guaranteed for all international students and all Nepalese students across all levels of study. And students can choose from a range of ensuite accommodation, shared accommodation, or studio flats. And more information about our accommodation pricing is online. And if you do have any specific queries with regards to our accommodation, please do feel free to ask whilst this live session is going on, and we can answer that as best as we can towards the end of the session. Okay, so moving on from this, we have a slide summarizing our fees and funding. So on average, fees are likely to be £13,000 to £14,000 a year, and that's more so for our undergraduate courses, with some of the, let's say, bespoke master's courses being £16,000 to £17,000. And on the left-hand side there, you have more information with regards to instalment plans and so on, and living costs in Leicester. So the thing with Leicester, it's not only a big South Asian city where you're likely to feel at home, especially, let's say, if you're missing home. There are lots of places to visit within the city that will make you, feel more comfortable. But then the cost of living in Leicester is significantly cheaper than the likes of London or other southern cities within the United Kingdom. So you're likely to be spending £800 to £900 a month. So it's a very affordable city, and the fact that everything is so close together. Our campus is 5 minutes from the city centre, 15 minutes away from the train station. There's not really a need for students to pay for transport. And then on the right hand side, you can see some information with regards to our scholarships. So we've got the early deposit discount of £500 and the international student scholarship of £1,500. So altogether, you're eligible for £2,000 worth of scholarships. And yeah, so if you do again have any questions with regards to scholarships or fees and the cost of living in Leicester, please do feel free to ask a question whilst we're having this session, and we can answer that at the end of in the question and answer part of the session. Okay, so at De Montfort University, we have our internal English test, which is a De Montfort Academic Test of English. So it's called the DATE test. And we have, as of this week, introduced the online English test, which students can take free of charge if they don't have an IELTS already. And just to add to that as well, we have also started accepting the IELTS online indicator and the TOEFL IBT home edition. And for pre-sessional English courses, we are accepting the Duolingo test for English. And again, if you do have any specific questions with regards to these tests, please do feel free to ask whilst we're having this session. And yeah, it's kind of, if you did want to take our online English test, you would need to apply to De Montfort University, and we would need to create a student number, and then you can take the test. So it's kind of what we would advise is that if you are interested in taking the test and interested in applying to the Montfort University, that you do so sooner rather than later, so that we can, number one, process your application, and number two, book you onto one of our online English tests, which is free, and it's valid for, the result is valid for 2 years. Okay, so moving on, here is a bird's eye view of our campus. The main building here that you can see is the Art and Design Complex, and we've recently spent 58 million renovating this wonderful faculty. And this kind of just gives you, let's say, the confidence and reassurance that we are willing to reinvest, back into our students to make sure that the learning environment is as good as it can be for you to excel, not only studying at the Montfort University, but to prepare you for jobs and employment in the future. And as you can see as well, there's lots of green spaces for our students to relax and hang out with their friends. It's a very open plan campus as well, so you won't have a feeling of, let's say, being kind of claustrophobic or being stuck to a confined space. Okay, and just there's a following slide just summarising the investments that we've made throughout the last 5 to 10 years throughout the whole campus. So we spent a whopping 136 million renovating the campus itself, and 8 million renovating the sports centre, which also includes the leisure centre, which has a climbing wall, swimming pool, a gym, and playing courts. So there are lots of facilities on campus for you, not only to excel within your studies, but also to have a great time away from your studies and hang out with your friends, and keep fit as well. Okay, so this slide here, just kind of, let's say, there's a few photos of Leicester itself, the city, and what you can get up to. So in the top left-hand corner, you can see a photo of the Leicester City Football Club. And of course, after our 2016 Premier League winning campaign, everybody knows about Leicester now. So I guess a great opportunity for you, when you come to the Montfort University, is that you can actually win tickets to watch Leicester City play. And I guess that kind of helps you, let's say, build an identity away from home. You can maybe, let's say, integrate in the local community and become a Leicester City football supporter, or let's say a Leicester Tigers rugby supporter, or whatever sport that you enjoy the most. And at the top here, in the top right-hand corner, you can see a photo of some of our restaurants that we have not too far away from our campus. There's plenty of places for you to eat with your friends and hang out. And then towards, in the bottom part of the slide, you can see photos of Leicester itself. And in the bottom right-hand corner, there's an inside shot of our, let's say, the High Cross shopping centre. So there are lots of, clothing shops, bars, cinema, and then even a crazy golf centre. So there's lots of things to keep you entertained away from your studies. Okay, so as you'd expect, we are inspired by industry, and we have lots of partnerships with big international corporate companies such as Deloitte, IBM, United Nations, and also Leicester City. Approximately just over 170 of our courses are accredited by professional bodies such as CIM, IET, General Pharmaceutical Council. So we give you the reassurance that you don't need to, let's say, do postgraduate examinations and you'd be exempt from those. But if you do want more, let's say, information with regards to our accreditations and work placements, please do feel free to ask towards the end of the session. We do, for undergraduate students, have a placement team in all 4 of our faculties. So within business and law, art, design and humanities, computing, engineering and media, and also health and life sciences. But then for our postgraduate courses, we have, let's say, bespoke personal projects, which if you do want to find out more information, please do feel free to ask a question. Okay, so moving on to DMU Global, which is an exciting initiative where we encourage our students to combine their studies with global exposure and opportunities. So we host trips such as academic-led trips, where students will go abroad to places such as New York, Berlin, Paris, Japan, and so on, to do stuff that is kind of associated to their course, and it's going to help them in their future career. And we also do mass trips as well. So, for example, last year, just over 1,000 of our students went to New York and spent a week there just to kind of, let's say, expose themselves to a new expose themselves to a new way of let's say of life, and to understand a new culture. And the students actually did stuff that was associated to their course, which they can bring back and can help them in the future, and also with interviews, because they can reference what they did on the trip and how it's kind of relevant to their future career. So here are some of the photos as to what the students got up to. We can reassure you that students, not only went shopping and had lots of cheeseburgers and whatever else people do in New York, but they did do stuff that is relevant to their career and is going to, build them as a person. So in the top left-hand corner, we have the mechanical engineering students who went to the Grand Central Station and got to understand how, it was built and how it's maintained to this day. The business and law students went to the United Nations and got to listen to speakers from the United Nations to understand how it was kind of maintained and ran on a daily basis. Some of the students even got a chance to speak on stage themselves. So this kind of experience is really invaluable and can hopefully help them in their future career, and maybe give them inspiration to really work hard towards the end of their studies at De Montfort University. And at the bottom left-hand corner and the bottom right-hand corner, we have some students. Journalism and media students went to the NBC studios, and the game art design students went to the High Line. So this just gives you a flavour as to what the students get up to on these trips. There are also trips such as study on exchange, volunteering trips, and so on. So there are a wide variety of trips for students to take part in. And another great benefit is that the trips are highly subsidised. So for example, the trip to New York last year was originally £900, but with the travel bursary, students only ended up paying £450 to £500 for flights and accommodation. So that's really quite a valuable thing for students, and it shows that we're really keen to reinvest back in their futures and to give them the best opportunities whilst they're studying at De Montfort. And here's another photo of our campus. On the right-hand side, you can see our business and law faculty, and on the left-hand side is our health and life science faculty. So it's a very nice and cozy feel as well. And yeah, if you do want to find more information about our faculties and the range of courses which we offer, please feel free to ask a question, and we can hopefully answer that in the question and answer session. Okay, and here is a photo of our international week. So twice a year we host an international week for all of our international students to not only help them kind of integrate into life at De Montfort University, but also to meet new friends. So when you come to our campus, you can meet new friends from all around the world. And we also have a Nepalese society on campus, which is great because you'll not only be able to make friends from with people from your home country, but you'll also you can build up a community as well. Okay, and finally, moving on to international student benefits. When you first arrive within the UK, we have a free airport pickup scheme. We have the International Week. We also have the Buddy Scheme, which is where you'll be paired up with a current De Montfort University student, and you'll meet up with that student on a fortnightly basis to build friendship and also to help you kind of acclimatise to life within Leicester and at De Montfort University. We also have the likes of discounted gym membership, and finally, free English classes, more so related to academic English to help you with your essays and so on. And we also have the Explore the UK initiative, which is where you'll travel up and down the United Kingdom and explore different cultures within the country. And then finally, as we spoke about earlier, we have the DMU Global initiative. And if you do have any other questions, please do feel free to ask whilst we talk through the question and answer session. Thank you for listening, and I'll pass it back on to Pawan.
Thank you, Joe. This is a wonderful campus and all the programs and the opportunities for international students as well as the domestic students. I believe it's one of the best universities in the UK in terms of those facilities and the degree recognition, plus the wonderful people like helping the international students at every end and any time. Like you guys are helping every way possible when just not receiving the students from here, but rather during their studies and post-studies as well. So this makes DMU great, I believe. Thank you. And before moving forward, I guess you want to take some questions on the comment box, or any one of us would like to speak more. Martin. Miss Hannah, we want to welcome Miss Hannah here. It's a pleasure to have you here, Hannah.
Thank you very much. Thank you for welcoming me.
You're very welcome. Let me go back to our comment box. Here, I have few questions asked. So let me go by the top.
Sure.
Actually, it's been a bit slow. I believe, like, StreamYard has this sort of, like, troubles sometimes. Anyway, okay. So what is it? Let me go. What are they? Okay. So I want to take this question.
Okay. So what are the academic and English requirements for postgraduate studies?
Right.
So I guess that's more so specific to which course. And Ismita, thank you for your question. I hope that things are well with you. Your question is more so, English requirements are specific to certain courses. So say, for example, the generic postgraduate courses, which exclude, let's say, health and life science courses, the requirement is IELTS level 6. But with regards to some of, let's say, the nursing and pharmacy courses, the IELTS requirement would be slightly higher because of NHS regulations and so on. So if you're hoping to, let's say, study the likes of a business course or an art and design course, as well as the computing and engineering courses, the IELTS generally for postgraduate courses is likely to be a 6 or 6.5. And just to add to that as well, we have, say, if you didn't meet the English requirements, we have our online English test, which you can take for free. And if you would like to take that, please do speak to Pawin and his team at Bradford Global.
Thank you. I want to take another question from Samuel. He is currently in Australia. He is doing his master, as you can see. The reason why I'm reading this because he got another question as well. So he wants to, go to the UK for diploma level. So is it possible? Not like currently he is at master's level. So like going from master's to downgrading his level in a sense.
Thank you for your question, Samuel. I hope things are you in Australia right now. That wouldn't be possible, I'm afraid, because you have to demonstrate academic progression. So say, for instance, if you were currently studying a bachelor's degree and then wanted to study in the UK, that would be, you could be considered because it's academic progression. But going from a master's down to a bachelor's, that wouldn't be something we are looking for, and it wouldn't demonstrate academic progression.
Okay. Let me go. Please bear with me because sometimes maybe the internet speed is
no worries. No worries.
We got another question from Murari. Okay.
Thank you, Murari. Yeah. So your question with regards to admissions requirements is kind of that specific to, let's say, the courses that we have on offer, because it can vary from course to course. And if you do want, let's say, specific information, Pawin and his team at Bradford Global can help you, and support you after our call today. Tuition fees as well. We covered that briefly during the presentation. Let's say on average, the course fees are £13,000 to £14,000, with some of the bespoke postgraduate courses costing £16,000 to £17,000. And with regards to accommodation for international students, it's guaranteed for all international students at all levels. And there's more information with regards to this on our website. And also, when students receive a conditional offer, within their conditional offer letter, there is detail on how they can book accommodation going forward.
Well, he adds another question, if you can see over there, let's bring up.
Joe, just while we're looking at that question, to just pick up one other point there that was asked about scholarships. Just to let you know, we have a variety of scholarships, but for international students, the two that tend to apply most of the time are normally most of interest. We have an international scholarship, which is £1,500, which can be combined with an early payment discount of £500. Those are on a first come, first served basis. There are quite a number of those, having said that. So generally that adds up to £2,000. So just let you know that those are the main scholarships. We do have others, for instance, we have a sports scholarship. So if you're an excellent sportsman, then you look at those as well. Just so you're aware, you can't combine more than 2 scholarships together though. So apart from the international one and the early payment one. Thanks.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, Marty. And Joe, Murari, another question, about 3 years gap. How long is gap accepted for any program?
Okay, so for undergraduate admission, the gap would be very tight. Maybe let's say at 1 year at maximum. But let's say if a student wanted to progress from undergraduate to postgraduate, and they had a 3 to 5 year gap because they were gaining relevant work experience, then that would be that we would consider such students. But students who have a 3 year gap before their undergraduate studies, that isn't something we would consider.
Thank you. And here's the next question.
Okay, thank you for your question, Indra. We don't have any dental courses available at De Montfort University, I'm afraid.
Just want to add something Indra, if you got interest in those sort of programs, we at Bradford might be able to help you out, because we do have other institutions who might be, a good fit for you. Just, ask us or send us email or just contact us on the WhatsApp or the regular call that you can see on the screen. Thank you for your question anyway. I think the next question is similar to what Martin just explained about.
Okay, thanks for your question, KC Deepa. So the scholarships, let's say the 2 main scholarships which we've been throughout this session aren't dealt with on, let's say, an academic or merit basis. It's more so first come, first serve. So say, for instance, with a £500 early deposit discount, if a student was to pay their deposit before the deadline, then they would get the £500, and then they could apply for the £1,500 international scholarship. So all in all, that would be £2,000. However, we do have other scholarships which are, let's say, specific to merit basis, which students can apply to, and there's more information on that, on our website. And if you would like to find out more information, I'd advise you to contact Powin and his team at Bradford Global, and they can run this through for you.
Thank you, Joe. We have a couple of questions.
Thanks for your question, Satish. I think we've generally covered the let's say spiel of fees at De Montfort University with regards to the tuition fees. But then with regards to the cost of living in Leicester, as we touched on throughout the presentation, it is significantly cheaper to live in Leicester than it is to live in, let's say, London or other southern cities within England. You're likely to be spending £800 to £900 a month on living costs, and that includes all bills. So your money is going to go a lot further in Leicester than it would if you were to base yourself in London.
Thank you. Here's an additional question by Murari. It's about the distance, how far is it from the Heathrow Airport? Sure.
Thanks for your question, Murari. So De Montfort University is approximately an hour and a half away from Heathrow via car, and of course that could be heavily dependent on traffic. So again, it's not too far away from Heathrow. We're approximately 40 minutes away from Birmingham International Airport, and we are again about 2 hours away from the Manchester International Airport. So there are other options for students.
Thank you. And here's another question. Joe, can you see that comment?
Yeah, so Madeira, thanks for your question. So do we have a postgraduate course for interior design? So yes, we have the interior design MA. So if you do want to find out more information, please do ask Powin, or if you have any other, let's say, specific questions with regards to the course, please do feel free to ask during the live stream, and we can hopefully help you as best as we can. So we do have the interior design MA. We also have the design innovation MA, and even design management and entrepreneurship. So if you're more so focused on the business side of fashion, that could be something of interest to you. But we would advise that if you want to find out more information, it's all on our website, and we would advise you to also contact Powin and his team to kind of get things moving quickly.
That's fantastic.
Sorry, go on.
Robert, you wanna?
If I may add for dear, sorry. The good thing about our courses.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the good thing about the courses when it comes to interior design and the programs related to art and design, we have dedicated studios and we have staff that they can support the student. Compared to other universities within the UK, yes, they do have the facility, but it's not available for everyone. We can assure it's available for you. And again, we do have, as Joe kindly mentioned, that we have great industrial links, and the placement team at the Faculty of Art and Design, they can help you secure a position. Thank you very much, Robert. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. Thanks for that, Amal. Just to add to that as well, Mandira, for this course in particular, you would need to send a portfolio with your application. So that is really quite crucial to your application, and we would advise you to spend a lot of time developing that. Yeah, thanks.
Shall I pick up the next question, Joe?
Sure. Thanks.
Yeah, so Raj, thanks. That's obviously a very, very important question at the moment, and at the forefront of everyone's mind. So if you don't mind, I might take a few minutes to answer that, because I think there's lots of things that we should consider. The first thing I'd say is that we're currently planning for a September intake. If for any reason we are not able to have a normal September intake, and that's probably, to be honest, not going to be totally a university decision. It's going to be more so dictated by the British government, who will say to us what we're allowed to do, when we're allowed to do it, and obviously governments around the world, in Nepal or wherever you might be in the world. So the first thing to say is that in terms of how safe is it, it's not a university decision, it's a governmental decision, and the governments clearly aren't going to let people start traveling. They're going to put in place restrictions as required to ensure that when people come to the UK, that they're going to be safe. Just so you know, if for any reason there is a little bit, it's not possible for people to travel to the UK in September to study in the normal way, although we're still planning for that, there are options that the university is getting in place for as and when the governments say what we can do. So those are going to, as you're probably aware, we have a September intake. We also have a January intake. So the January intake tends to be a little bit smaller in terms of programs, and historically has been mainly postgraduate. So the first thing we're looking at doing is potentially increasing the number of programs that are available for a January start, which might include undergraduate programs as well. And we're also looking at, perhaps if we need to make sure that everyone's safe, that we might delay the September intake for a few weeks. So potentially we might have the intake starting in October, or if it's not completely safe, maybe even the latter part of October or early November, as well as options that maybe students could even perhaps start their program online at home and then travel to the UK 2 or 3, 4 weeks once the governments say that we can open up. So just to clearly say to you that you won't be expected or needing to come to the UK until official governmental organisations confirm that it's safe. So I hope that answers your question.
I think you explained it quite well, and we all are looking forward to reopening the international market and be able to recruit the students and then welcome the students actually to the university, and then enjoy our normal life. So far it looks like things getting normal, but it takes some time, of course. But we have the September intake, which means a few months away. So we still have opportunity. We still have time to process for. I think you made a you made that point here. Yeah, that's very convincing.
Maybe I could just jump in with one other quick thing there, and apologies. Even though we're not sure of the exact situation and how it's going to pan out, what is clear is that there are definitely going to be options available for students to start this academic cycle. So you should definitely not be thinking about delaying for a year. The reason for that is that if many people do that, then clearly next year there's going to be too many people wanting to join universities and places will be limited. So you're going to be much better off planning to start this year, and there will be options for you to do that. The other thing that I would say is that I wouldn't delay sending in your application until the situation becomes clear, because once that happens, we're expecting to be inundated with applications, number one. And number two, if the governments do put in place restrictions on how many, for instance, students can go to lecture halls at once, we may have to reduce the numbers of students that are allowed to study at the university. So I'd really encourage you, if you want to come to the UK and study with us in Leicester, or any other university for that matter, that you get your application in ASAP now. If you have conditions such as meeting the English requirement, that you take the IELTS indicator or our own internal free IELTS language test, so that basically you have everything in place ready, and then once the situation is confirmed, you can then make your decisions, confirm your scholarship and discount, rather than trying to rush it along with everyone else at the end. So I was to offer a bit of advice, I'd say get your applications in as soon as you can. Thanks.
Yeah, that's so true. Because right now, everybody is just exploring more of the opportunities, like going to the UK and choosing the right university, right program. So this is the best time to do so. And when you feel like, okay, this is the right university, you got the right program and everything, then you don't need to wait for until, let's say, July or August or September or any other time, because this is the right time to start processing. Like Martin explained to you as well, we can be ahead of that crowd, because once the market reopen, then we might be in that crowd, and then might take long, and then visa decision, everything else would be I think a bit challenging. So this is the right time anyway. Thanks Martin for making that clear. I'm not sure what is this question about, but if you can just see if EMB.
I don't quite understand. Could Don maybe clarify what EMB means, please?
Yeah, Don, please, if you are watching, please clarify this.
I think he's asking about an accreditation for the cybersecurity. Please do let me know if this is the case so we can answer the question.
Sure. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. This is about the English testing, Duolingo.
Okay, so thanks for your question, Manzu, and I hope you're well. So we do accept the Duolingo test of English for our pre-sessional English courses, but as of right now, for our main courses, for undergraduate and postgraduate, we're only accepting the likes of IELTS, Online Indicator, TOEFL, IBT, Home Edition, and our own internal English test. But that's not to say, in a couple of months, our position may have changed as well. But then, of course, we would update Bradford Global so they could inform you accordingly. But as of right now, we only accept Duolingo test of English for our pre-sessional English courses.
Yeah, definitely. Like Joe mentioned it in the slide earlier as well. They got a very unique internal testing system called DATE, DMU's academic test of English, which can reflect the requirement of this TOEFL or IELTS or any other testing. But before you are eligible to that, you need to submit your documents and then make queries, and then the admission team will make a decision on that, whether you are able to proceed forward with that internal testing, or because I believe some programs might need better testing. So still in this situation, while everyone is not able to take the exams IELTS or TOEFL, as organized by the test centers, like in Nepal or somewhere else. This is the best time, like staying home, like taking the test, getting the results in just a few hours. So this is a great thing that GMU has actually launched for its international students and potential ones.
Sure. Just wanted to clarify as well. Our online English test doesn't qualify for the likes of nursing or speech and language therapy related courses, but it is valid for our MPharm course.
I think this is the same question about the situation, like Martin explained about. Indra, I think we talked about it already. We all hope that the situation will be better by then, or something comes up as a solution to that. Like in many countries are competing about developing a vaccine or some treatment solution to this virus. So like yourself, everybody else is very hopeful on that.
Yeah, just very quickly again, if for any reason the situation is still in place in September where we can't have a normal start, there are definitely going to be options where students can begin their programs a little bit later. So you can be assured that you don't need to defer for a year. We'll have options to delay the start if that's needed.
Just to clarify that, like even if you are like getting the offers for September intake and for some reasons, like you cannot continue that intake, maybe due to the virus or like some other situation at your end or like anything else, because you still can apply, you still can defer your admission to the next intake, probably next year in January. So it's a few months away from September. So for that reason, or at this point, do we have like any consideration about like delaying or let's say some delayed intake plans for the let's say if not September intake, then you have October, November start, or you are actually like needing to take the start the class in January only. Joe?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
I mean, like, if you can't start in September, so you have a late start like in October or November, or like, you must defer it to the next take, like in January next year.
Sure. So at the moment, we're still considering, let's say, options as kind of things start to unravel. So one potential option could be that students start online initially, and then whilst they're processing their visas, or let's say once things become clearer, students could come to our campus towards the end of this year or the start of next year. So there will be, like Martin said, there will be, let's say, alternatives and options for students to continue their studies. And it's quite important that students really kind of consider whether deferring for next year is the best option for them, because number one, what would you be doing at home anyway? And number two, you've got to think there's going to be an overcapacity next year, and the universities won't be able to take more students than they can. And I guess as well, with regards to the post-study work visa, hopefully once that's kind of, let's say, put into writing by the British government, it's a really positive thing. And hopefully when students graduate next summer, they can then utilize that post-study work visa. And of course, there's going to be an emphasis on providing stimulus for the economy, where students are, highly skilled students are needed to help the economy bounce back. So there would be lots of opportunities for students to take work opportunities.
Absolutely. Thanks. This is the next question here on the screen.
Okay, so thanks for your question, Preeti. Okay, sorry, Martin.
Yeah, just that's an easy one. Yes, it's just for the first year. That's an easy one to answer.
Okay. Let me go back to the next question. So the next one is.
So thanks for your question, Sailesh. So you would need a 4-year bachelor's in Nepal to enroll onto one of our master's courses at De Montfort University.
Let me go back to the next question. I'm sorry. What is it about? Okay, this is about a program. If you got that or not.
It's 2 seconds. Which so she wants to know. Thanks for your question, Maharajan. Pardon?
Rabisa.
Okay, so just 2 seconds. Okay, so you want to know more about the multimedia, whether we do a multimedia course. Just 2 minutes. So just what would be better if you clarify which level you'd like to study? So would it be undergraduate or postgraduate? And specifically, what media course would you like to study?
Yeah, I believe yeah, we'll figure it out later on, contacting her, or if she is listening to us.
If she's listening, so she can clarify which course she's interested in. So we do media, and we do a foundation for media. We have media with communication, and we can have also media with communication with modern languages as well. We have a media production. So it depends on that's an undergrad, of course, level. If she's interested in postgrad, I'm not quite sure again if she's more of an undergrad or postgrad. As Joe mentioned, if she can clarify more, then maybe we can we'll be able to help.
Because for the postgraduate courses, we have international film production MA and investigative journalism, whereas at undergraduate there's a wide range of courses such as film studies, broadcast journalism, media production, and music technology, and so on. So again, if you do want to find out more information, please do contact Palwin and his team at Bradford Global, and they can hopefully move things forward for you.
Sure. Thank you. Let me go back to the next question. Okay, there is another question just received now. Okay, this will be coming. Okay, so thanks for your question, Perna, and I hope that things are well for you in Australia right now. So with regards to your question about research programs and potentially doing a PhD at de Montfort University, could you please specify which research field you'd like to kind of go into, and maybe you can talk to Palwin about that, and we can develop things further that way. Yeah, definitely. We'd be happy to help you out, Bruno. Just reach out to us. Yeah, we'll take you from there. And again, thank you, Bruno, for your question. We got the clarification from Rabisa about her course, but again, she needs to tell us which label, right?
Sure, yeah. So we do have an animation course at undergraduate, but then again, we do need to specify the actual level.
Yeah, Rabisa, please clarify about your label, whether it is undergrad or postgraduate programs. So we'll be able to answer that more clearly. All right. While we wait, sure. Anyone here want to add something more about DMU or the questions that are not asked here, and you want to bring that up and then help our online community answer this? Yeah, just got the reply from Rabisa that she's looking for bachelor's degree. Okay, so yeah, we do offer an animation BA. We also offer the likes of we've got concept and comic art BA. We've got game art BA as well. We've got graphic design. We've got graphic design specifically focused on illustration. So there are a variety of different courses which are focused on your interest of studies. So we also have visual effects. So if you do want to break down all of these courses in more detail, please do contact Palwin and his team at Bradford Global, and they can help you further. Sure. Thank you, Rabisa. We'd be happy to hear from you about your further processing, any questions, anything about your choice of the university or the degree. Then we'd be happy to help you out. Please reach out to us. So while we wait a few more minutes, it's already 44 minutes now. Do you want to add anything more, Ms. Hannah? You want to add something or Amar, or anyone here. So we'd like to hear from you.
Thank you very
Of course,
much.
yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Hina, ladies first.
Thank you very much. So I'd like to welcome everybody that's been on the web chat. Sorry. Please do ask us any further questions that you have, and we'll be happy to answer those. We spoke a little bit. Somebody asked a question earlier about how far Heathrow is from De Montfort University, and in the car it is around about 1.5 hours. But there's a really good service from Heathrow to St Pancras, which is an express service. Gets you to St Pancras really quickly, and then from there you can get the train to Leicester, which is just over just between 60 and 70 minutes. So that's a really good service to consider if you are going to fly to Heathrow from Nepal.
All right, thank you. I think we got back. We got like Purna back with his question, like, you want to do research in finance. Do you have that program available? Like, you want to do the research program in
if
finance?
You don't mind, I'll jump in here. We do have the PhD level on research, Mahzan, Purna, and the thing that we would advise is, if you have a proposal or an area of research that you are interested in, please do get in touch with Joe, and he will try to coordinate this with an academic to see if it's fit within the department, so you can submit an online proposal with the team's help, of course. We do also offer a DBA, and I'm sure if you've done an MBA and MPA, you're somehow within the field because you're doing more of a public affair and business administration. But yeah, we do encourage students to apply for a PhD and research in general. I hope this answered the question.
I think that clarifies. So while we wait, like maybe like a few questions, I'm not sure, but yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything. If any one of you just want to talk about this post-study work opportunities for international students that the British government is coming up with, so if you want to talk more on this, that would also be helpful here, I guess.
All right, I can jump in here if you don't mind. Again, sorry guys. I'm an international student. So a few years ago, actually almost 10 years ago now, I've applied for the post-study work visa, and I can tell you it's a different experience for myself when I came into the UK. It's a different educational system, different culture. But again, I would encourage students to do this. It's a lifetime experience. Whether the PSW is going to happen or not, we do not have a clarification on this, but we can tell you it is, the government announced it, but it's not official yet on how to apply, what's the exact dates and everything. And again, this will help students from all levels when they finish their degree to get in touch at De Montfort with the placement team from day one, actually, to try and secure something with our industrial partners so they can secure a position or a placement or even a volunteering position at the beginning, and then later on, once they secure the PSW visa, then they can with their new status of settlement here, they can work.
Thank you. That's very glad to hear from you. Being an international student, you got plenty of experience, being there, and then facing that challenges, and then then getting a degree, and then getting into the career. So I think from what you have experienced, and then what you have got, and then the things that you have achieved so far, I think that would be inspirational to many international students. And it's always good to have international degree, and then be ready for any careers in the world. So be an international career focused, and then graduates after that. Yeah, thanks for saying experience, Amar.
Sure.
Okay, so I think we haven't got any more comments on the comment box right now. That means, you know, like we have ended up that question and answer session right now.
Paul, maybe I could just jump in there.
Sure.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's any last questions anyone wants to ask or they want to think about asking. And maybe you could do that. And I'll just want to maybe just for a couple of minutes while maybe people think about that, just kind of highlight some of the key high level points about coming to study with De Montfort University. So as I said at the beginning, Leicester really is an international city. It really is seen as being the most multicultural, and we have a very large South Asian community here, which means that students coming from your part of the world, you are going to be comfortable here. Hopefully you've seen from Joe's presentation that we have a very, very broad offering, very well respected programs, superb outcomes in terms of employability statistics. So in terms of your investment coming to the UK, it's really an excellent investment, with post-study work hopefully being confirmed very soon. I think with the current COVID situation, my personal take is that I think that's going to make it even more likely. So that's an excellent plus. The city itself, we're a top 10 city to live in the UK. So in terms of affordability and quality of life, we're a great solution as well. In terms of the university, we're a city centre. There are 2 universities in the city, so it's a great university town. Being in the centre of the city, everything is in easy reach. You don't have to use public transport or to buy a bicycle. You can easily walk everywhere. We've got a beautiful campus. It's a campus without a road in the middle of it as well, so you're quite safe. We have a river running along next to the campus where, if you're interested in such things as boating, that you can enjoy. Sorry, I've started to talk and I see there's another question coming, so I'll pass over. But just to say, there are lots and lots of very, very good reasons to come and join us here at De Montfort University. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. I guess, like, you know, Rabisa got back with her another question, like, you know, she's exploring more options for her. Like, she wanted to go for some design or some other programs before. Now she's also, like, you know, looking for this computer science program. So academically, it varies from course to course, or what it is. Like, can you explain?
Sure. Is that could you clarify whether that's for the undergraduate or postgraduate level, please? Undergraduate. Okay. So Ahmad, would you be able to help me out with this question, please?
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, is it the same student who asked for the visual effects and the media question,
yeah.
or am I mistaken? So for computer, is it computing in general? Is it cybersecurity? Again, sorry, we keep asking more questions, but within the same umbrella of computer science, we have a lot like software engineering, cyber, even computer game production. I'm not quite sure if this is something that's interesting for yourself or not. In general, in terms of entry requirement, we ask for foundation if you study foundation. If not, we ask normally for the 112 UCAS point, and that's about 5 GCSEs, that's grade 5 and above, and we also check the English and the mathematics for the bachelors in computer science in general. I hope this clarified this.
Absolutely. In general, like, you know, in Nepal, like, you know, students are just like, you know, focusing. I mean, they have just like computer science in mind. Rather, like, they would just like go for the majors later on or something. But, you know, like, maybe we should tell them upfront, like, you know, okay, there are various types of like majors that falls under computer science. So, like I said, we'll just get more explanation from her.
Of course. Sorry. I can also add, for example, because some students, and we had this case, students are interested in computer science in general, but they're not quite sure what they need to do. Is it something related to cybersecurity, which is really a huge field and everyone is interested in this? Or is it something related to computer with business? So we do offer a program that will help students who are interested in computing and in the business world, which is called Computing for Business. But again, this program, they will have different kind of modules to study, like visual web development. They will have programming, of course, research, how to do the business intelligence, and all of this again will help you in your field. So ultimately, if I'm not mistaken, she replied and she said, I'm from a humanities background, and that's again fantastic because you have a different view to other students who did actually programming and they decided to study more. It depends what you want to do in the near future. That's a conversation to have with you, of course, Bradford, and you can help her and guide her. What do you want to do in the near future, so we can tell you this program is more fit towards your goal, and we are here to help you to achieve this.
So are you saying, Amar, like, it is possible to switch from one background to the next one? Like, she wants to go for the computer science program from her humanities background, right? So that's
again, I didn't see her. Sorry, I didn't see her qualification, but if she has math and she has English and she can tell me exactly what she studied, we can of course get in touch with the admissions and the academic and the faculty, and they can provide more details on this. But again, I'll leave it in your capable hands, of course, to have a chat with her. We're more than happy, of course, to answer any questions related to this as well.
All right.
Also, it's really useful to have a personal statement, a really strong personal statement, especially when you're going from one background to another background. If there's a change in sort of, a career change or anything like that, then please reflect this in your personal statement and document why you want to make that change.
All right. Okay, we got one more question here. Like, it's about the master's degree. Yep.
Okay, thanks for your question, Vivek. I hope you're okay. So you've done you did a UG in the US, and you graduated in 2016. So you want to focus on a postgraduate humanities course, more so specific to development studies, and whether this would be a good time to start your masters. I guess it's more so up to your personal preference. If you feel comfortable, restarting your studies again. And I guess that now you've had a 4-year gap. What we would want to know from you is, what have you done throughout those 4 years? Have you been working towards, let's say, something related to NGOs or international development, or have you been working in a completely different field whatsoever? I guess if you were considering on restarting your studies, we would advise that you contact Powen and his team at Bradford Global, and they can hopefully move this forward for you.
Thanks, Al. I believe,
I wanted to add to that as well. Sorry, I just wanted to add to that. We do actually have a course in health and community development studies, so that could be something of interest to you. And again, just please contact Powen and they can help move this forward for you.
Sure. I think we are coming to almost like, end of this session, or if you want to add some more things, please.
Sure, yeah. We hope that you found this session fruitful, and I guess this kind of gives you an insight as to what we do at De Montfort University and what we're kind of doing to overcome such a challenging time right now. And I guess during the question and answer session, you got a chance to, of course, ask us a range of questions related to scholarships, our English test, and some specific questions for courses. But if you do want to find out more information after this chat, please do contact Powen and his team at Bradford Global, and we would be, more than happy to help you and Powen, and wish you the best of luck throughout this difficult time with your family as well. And hopefully we can see you at some point in the near future, hopefully in September, or if not, at a later point this year or next year.
Joe, you want to add about your experience, like when you visited Nepal back in 2030?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I went to. I've got some very happy memories of Nepal, and I went there in 2013. We went to Kathmandu, Chitwan, and Pokhara, and then also went to Everest Base Camp. So I got to see a lot of different things, of different aspects of the country and the culture. I still remember trying yak steak and dalbat, which I know you have, which is your local delicacy, which you have twice a day. But my Nepalese isn't very good, so that needs a lot of work. All I can say right now is namaste. But it's a good start, I guess. But yeah, some very happy memories of Nepal, and hopefully we can invite and welcome more Nepalese students to study at De Montfort University in the not too distant future, with the help of Paulin and his great team at Bradford Global.
Just to say, there's one last question I think that's popped up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Vivek, glad to hear that our answer was well received, and hopefully Bradford can help you further. So yeah, there are options for you to part-time work, and as an international student, you have to work up to 20 hours per week. And I guess, yeah, like the fact that Leicester is a very affordable city, your money is not only likely to go a lot further than it would in other, let's say, southern cities within England, but you're likely to live a comfortable lifestyle within Leicester, especially at De Montfort University, as you're likely to spend £800 to £900 a month on living costs. So yeah, I can reassure you that you will have enough money to support you whilst you are studying at De Montfort University. Okay, so Paulin is having some technical difficulties, and yeah, we're going to have to bring an end to this live session now. Would you like to add anything, Martin?
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Oh, I've got a bit of echo. I had a bit of technical difficulties myself then. Yeah, just want to say to everyone, thank you very much for joining today. Reiterate, hope you're safe and well. I'd really encourage you, if you're thinking about coming to study with us, to apply now. Any questions you have, please go to Bradford. They'll be very happy to support you, and anything they need, we work very closely with them, so we can help them out with any technical information to make your journey to us as simple as possible. We're very much looking forward to hopefully welcoming you to Leicester and De Montfort University very soon. So thanks once again, and goodbye from me. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye now.
Bye-bye.